Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Accordingly guided.
Yes.
And I think, Mr. Speaker, my life began back in the late 1969, because that is when I was born, in a village called Iriaki in Igembe South constituency, formerly known Igembe North, Igembe district. Mr. Speaker, I was born from a very humble family, and what I remember most is when I was growing up and hunting cows or goats in a forest called Ndune near my home, when I was arrested by the chief in around 1978 to take me to school. That time, Mr. Speaker, the test that was used to check anybody that had grown of age to get to school was to lift your hand on top of your hand and see whether you would be able to touch the other side of your ear. That's when I went to Mwamba Primary School, and for around 8 years, I went to, again, Mr. Speaker, to Igembe Secondary School. And the other thing that also makes me remember my first day in school, Mr. Speaker, and because of that I'm beginning, is when we were admitted and we were required to carry shoes and other items that we would use in school. Was that I went to school, my shoes in the box, and carrying the box on my hand to school, and everybody was laughing at me because they couldn't understand why I had not put on the shoes and had to carry the shoes in the box. Thereafter, I stayed there, Mr. Speaker, and after Form 4, I also went to Meru Technical School, and Mr. Speaker, thereafter, after finishing Meru Technical School, my father thought then I should have stayed at home to assist him in his coffee farm, because I'm from a family of 8, and then he required to spend some of his little earnings to educate my brothers and sisters. I became difficult after attending to my father's tea farm and coffee for some time, and then decided to rebel and go to look for something else to do, and that's how I left that home with only 30 shillings, without any clothes in a bag, without knowing where I would sleep. And my hustling life started from there. I made friends with many that I remember would be my role models. And during the course of life, I got interested in doing business here and there, and that's when I started business. I first of all got very interested in pursuing insurance, and I was the founder member of Access Insurance. Mr. Speaker, as I was doing business, I met very many people who inspired me in different ways, and some of the people I met and actually who inspired me to think about the politics and public service were the likes of the late Kennedy Matiba, Kina Muite, Raila Odinga, and even the late Kina Njaramogi. The late Kabando Wafula Mbuke and I were the first young boys, and Antai Wankuraru, who we were there, and the boys of the Safina party, and the late the late Liki was the Secretary General. The first time I got charged in court, Mr. Speaker, was around that time, the year 2002, when I was alleged to have, and Mporo Abori, who is also my friend, we are very close, and we were charged with the offense that time. I think the charge was defective of trying, because we had led prayers, and it was construed that we were praying for the death of the president then. So we were charged for incitement. The matters went to court. We were lucky that we couldn't afford a legal fees to pay lawyers, and I thank Muturi Kegano and Muite, because these are the people that came to our rescue. We were acquitted. That is when I realized how important it was to have good friends. From there, Mr. Speaker, when we got interested.
Finish up in 2 minutes. You've already done your 10.
I got interested in running for parliamentary position, and I first of all ran under Safina ticket. I lost. The next election, I ran on 40 people. I lost, and then in the year 2007, I ran on a Kano ticket, and I was elected as a member of parliament for Igembe South, and from that time, I have been a member of parliament for 3 terms consecutively until last election, when I decided to run as governor for Meru, and lost to the current governor. And Mr. Speaker, thereafter, in the wisdom of the current president, who I thank, decided to nominate me as candidate, as nominee for the position of CS Agriculture. And Mr. Speaker, that's why I am here. Before this honorable committee, ready to answer any question that may arise.